18 this morning. Harper Doss setting the first time in this damp qualifying session for our Formula Atlantic and FE2 drivers. Doss with a 2:23.492. Jason Conzo just did one installation lap, and I believe he went back to the paddock, so I think Doss is the only car out there running at the moment. This is a relatively small field. We had 6 cars on the entry list, one of which lost a motor in testing yesterday. Kurt Kinsfater, I understand, in the number 32, has withdrawn out of Eaton, Colorado. That was a long tow for him, unfortunately, in the Swift 014 in the Atlantic Open machine. So we will not have him in the field this weekend. Welcome to Watkins Glen, and it is a little damper than it was here yesterday, as we've had a few showers come in this morning. The forecast indicates we might have showers for the first couple hours here of our morning card of qualifying and racing. We'll be joining Alan Bestwick with the broadcast for the Trans Am race, first of 2 Trans Am races here this weekend, the TA and GT cars. That stream will start at 10:15. I'll be with you. My name's John Phippen, so great to have you with us. I'll be with you through the first 2 sessions, this Formula Atlantic and FE2 qualifying session, followed by the International GT Sprint Race number 2. Ben Sissel will join me in the booth for that one, coming up at 8:30 this morning. But so far, Harper Doss, the only driver to come out. Oh, I think Nico Vardis making his way out on track. Yes, the 00, the one of the other Atlantic, in fact, the only Atlantic Open class car in the field this weekend. Nico is the points leader in the Atlantic Open class out of Sylvan Lake, Wisconsin, in his JDR Formula 1000. You can also see the number 4 of Jason Conzo out there in the lone FE2 here this weekend. Jason out of Great River, New York. Harper Doss in the Atlantic 016 class. One of 3 016s here. Ryan Sari in the number 8 and Richard Zober in the 66 so far have not taken part in this qualifying session. Again, this is our smallest field by a pretty substantial margin. 6 cars on the entry list, one of which has dropped out with an engine failure in practice yesterday. So Kirk Kinsfater will not be with us in the number 32 Atlantic Open car. So we'll have 5 cars when the green flag flies for their first race of the day. And that will be coming up after the lunch break. In fact, it's late in the afternoon. Therefore, the first race for the Atlantics will be at 2:45 this afternoon. And we'll have the International GT Sprint Race number 3 at 3:25, followed by the FRP Formula 2000 race number 1, then the F1600 race number 1 at 4:45, and we'll round out the day with the second race for these drivers from the Atlantic and FE2 class at 5:30 this evening. All of that will be covered on the stream for those of you that wish to tune in. But in between these morning qualifying sessions and the International GT Sprint Race number 2, we'll have the first 2 races of the doubleheader weekend for the Trans Am and GT cars. Again, we'll be live on the stream at 10:15 this morning. Alan Bestwick, of course, will be hosting. And then at 1 o'clock, we'll join the stream for the Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series race number 1 on the weekend. Good shot of Nico Vardis in the 00 JDR Formula 1000, the motorcycle power plant. Makes a glorious noise, it does. As we mentioned, Nico is the points leader in the Atlantic Open class coming into this weekend. He did not race at Road Atlanta, but had good success at both Mid-Ohio and Road America. He's got a 25-point lead over James French, who is not here this weekend. Harbor Das in his Atlantic 016, number 06, is second in the points table in the 016 class. John McAleer, the points leader, not racing with us here this weekend. Ryan Sari, who is here, is currently 4th in the points table. But as you can see, Jason Conzo in the FE2 with the quickest time so far, a 2:07.779. Harbor Das in the Atlantic 16, the 06, a 2:11.756. Nico Vardis has yet to complete a lap as he's out there on his warm-up lap. Harbor Das coming through turn number 9, heading for the final 2 turns on the racetrack. The left-hander at turn 10, and then the right-hander right at the pit entrance, leading on to the start-finish straightaway here at Watkins Glen. Das flashes by and puts in the fastest time, a 2:04.760 for the driver out of Solon, Ohio. In dry track practice yesterday, Das was quickest there as well at a 1:42.929, so that'll give you some indication of just how damp this track is, as we're about 20 seconds off that kind of pace. Here comes Nico Vardis by to click his first timed lap, a 2:12.6. We'll see what Nico can do as he gets it up to speed. As we watch Das in the chute coming into the boot. We are running the full Grand Prix course this weekend. As he heads through the laces down to the toe of the boot, sharply downhill. And then it begins the climb uphill through that one. There's a good shot of Jason Conzo in the Formula Enterprises 2. Bending it through turn 2 and heading up, into the, that's Nico Vardis now, Nico just through the inner loop or the bus stop, now through the outer loop as he works his way down toward the boot. Vardis through the laces and then heads down toward the toe. Das and Conzo separated by just about a second for the top spot in this qualifying session. Das goes a little quicker, a 2:02.101 for Harbor Das. On his 5th lap of this session. Nico Vardas tiptoeing through the heel of the boot, the short uphill run to turn 9, where they rejoin the NASCAR shortcut. Vardas through 10 into 11 as he's coming to the line. We'll see what his first really flying lap puts him on the qualifying order. Still third for Nico Vardas, a 2:08.785. Just about 3 seconds off Jason Conzo's time. These three cars are in three different classes, so vying for supremacy in their respective classes. But like I say, we only got 5 cars in the field for these Atlantic and FE2 races, as we've had one driver drop out already with a engine failure in yesterday's practice. Harbor Das working on the rain line. You can see the track is not sodden. You don't see any rooster tails being thrown up. It is damp for sure, but plenty of dry patches. So the rain has not yet been heavy. We might have some heavier rains throughout the morning, and then a break around midday, it appears. Again, the weather is very changeable in this part of the country, of course. So, but it looks like some heavier rains coming in late in the afternoon, which might affect our first 3 races for this Formula Race Promotions field here this weekend. The Atlantics, the Formula 2000s, and the Formula 1600s all will race for the first time this afternoon. The Atlantics at 2:45, and then we'll be joining the stream for the International GT Sprint Race number 2 at 3:25, followed by the FRP F2000s, the F1600s, and then the second race of the weekend for the Atlantics at the end of the day at 5:30, and it might be quite a bit wetter than it is now at that point. Pretty sure all of these drivers are out on slicks at this point. It's not wet enough for the rain tires, I don't think. But Das experimenting with the offline, which is a little quicker when the track is damp usually. Just a little wiggle for Harbor coming out of the outer loop. Dipped into the 159s, his last flying lap, 59.787. Jason Conzo in the FE2, about 5 seconds, almost 6 off that pace. At 2:05.7. Nico Vardas at a 2:08.7. Just about 3 seconds off Conzo's time. Das goes a little quicker, a 1:58.320 for Harbor Das. Up at the top of the hill, heading for the bus stop, officially known as the Inner Loop. The curbs have been reprofiled a bit, and they're a little more forgiving, although these drivers staying off the curbs because they can retain water for sure. There's another shot of Nico Vardas in the JDR Atlantic Open car, the 00. Working his way through the final 2 turns. Nico off the pace, looks like he's headed into the pit lane. So he will start inside of row 2 as it stands right now, assuming he doesn't come back out in this session. Scheduled to go until 8:25, so about 5 minutes remaining. Harbour Doss looks like he's content with his time. He's going to head into the pit lane as well. So far, Doss the only driver to get under 2 minutes in these damp track conditions. So that looks like your order for the qualifying session, the one and only qualifying session for our FRP Formula Atlantic and FE2 drivers. Harbour Doss will start on the pole in the Atlantic 016 at a 158.320. Jason Gonzo will start alongside in row 1, a 205.691 in the lone Formula Enterprises 2 car in the field. Nico Vardas will lead the Atlantic Open field in the 00 with a 208.785. Don't go away. We've got our first race of the day coming up next at 8:30, the International GT Sprint Race number 2 on the weekend. We'll be coming along in just a couple minutes. We'll be right back with you.
Okay, so pretend this is your race car. It's on the trailer, and you have an accident. Ouch! At least your truck's insurance will pay for another one? Yeah, not so fast. Standard insurance won't replace your race car, whether it's in the trailer, in the paddock, in the garage, or the repair shop. But at Hagerty, we can protect it for what it's really worth anytime it's off the track. No matter what or where you race, all for less than a set of race tires. Hagerty, let's drive together.
Rev up and get ready for race day with Mission Foods. The world's best racers and tastiest products come together to make every race delicious. Fully loaded tacos, fast wraps, piled high nachos. Whatever you crave, Mission will help you be race ready with easy to make recipes that will take your race day to the finish line. Keep your racing delicious and enjoy all the mouth-watering action. Brought to you by Mission Foods. Too fast, too tasty.
Big news for car lovers everywhere. Now you can get Next Gen at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store. Every Next Gen formula is built with advanced ceramic technology, and that means a deep gloss finish, serious protection, and long-lasting durability for your paint. World-class racing teams trust Next Gen to protect their race cars under the toughest conditions. And you can trust Next Gen to protect your car every day. Find Next Gen ceramic protection at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Get ready for race day with Stack Auto Lifts. The world's fastest racers and the most trusted garage lifts come together to elevate every moment on and off the track. From rugged 4-post lifts and powerful 2-post systems to space-saving single-post and scissor lifts, Stack Auto Lifts delivers strength, precision, and performance for every garage. Brought to you by Stack Auto Lifts, created by racers for racers. Proud partner of Race America for the 2026 season.
Welcome to RacingAmerica.tv. From the local short tracks to the road racing stars of Trans Am, we have you covered. Subscribe now for live access to over 200 grassroots races streaming all season long. Watch anytime, anywhere on your phone, tablet, or TV apps. Get a 10-year archive of grassroots races, plus behind-the-scenes NASCAR team coverage. And when the spotlight turns to Trans Am, Racing America brings you front-row access to the action. This is racing at every level. This is Racing America.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Cube 3 Architecture Trans Am TA2 Pro and Pro-Am Series. Nationally recognized for architecture, interiors, and planning, Cube 3 proudly returns as the title sponsor for the 2026 Trans Am TA2 racing season. From designing dynamic spaces across the country to fueling performance on the track, Cube 3 brings creativity, precision, and passion to everything they do. Cube 3. Architecture, interiors, planning, where design innovation meets racing passion. Stop by the styled aesthetic merchandise trailer set up in the fan zone. Perhaps it's time to freshen up your Racing America swag or support your favorite series. Check out the new collection of hats, t-shirts, sweatshirts, and a lot more. In addition, orders can be placed and shipped worldwide at styledaesthetic.com. Their tent will be open starting at 8:30. They're just a couple minutes away. So swing by. They'll be there until 4 o'clock today. Mission Foods, proud to be the official tortilla and tortilla chip company of Racing America, with fully loaded tacos, fast wraps, and piled high nachos. Whatever you crave, Mission has the products you need to take your race day to the finish line. So keep your racing delicious and enjoy all the mouth-watering action brought to you by Mission Foods. That's too fast, too tasty. Next Gen makes the most powerful detailing products on the market today. Working with professional detailers and dealerships for the last 20 years, Next Gen brought their line of premium products to the public in 2019 and have been proving their reputation as one of the leading automotive aftercare brands in America. Made in the USA, all of Next Gen's products use the highest level ingredients and cutting-edge chemistry to deliver speed, performance, and value for automotive detailers and DIY enthusiasts. Next Gen advanced detailing products can be found nationwide at O'Reilly Auto Parts, as well as online at getnextgen.com, the official car care sponsor of Racing America. Welcome to Watkins Glen. It's an overcast morning. We've had a few showers this morning, so the track is damp but not sodded. So I'm guessing that most of these drivers for the International GT are coming out on slicks as the track's not quite wet enough for wet weather tires. Good morning. My name's John Phippen alongside Ben Sissel. We'll be joined by Liam Gray in the commentary booth this morning as his dad is taking over his car as he won the class in yesterday's race. Let's introduce the starters to you. We have a total of 38 cars on the starting grid. I'm not sure if they're all here. Rocco Canada, the third, will start alone in row 19 in the number 992 in his 3.8-liter Cayman. Torsten Gross alongside in row 18 in the number 19 3-liter Cayman. Ari Strauss alongside him in the number 26 GTX Porsche Cayman. Richard Grant will start outside of row 15 in the number 34 in his 4-liter Cayman. Colin Cohen in the number 38 GTX Maserati Trofeo alongside. In row 16 is the number 186 of Mike Beers in a 3.6-liter Cayman, the 3.6-liter GT car. The smallest displacement of our Porsche GT3 Cup cars. Next to him is the number 127 of John Alexander in a 3.8-liter Cayman. Row 15 has the 67 of Richard Walker in a 3.8 Cayman, as is Andrew Smiley in a 167, another 3.8-liter Cayman. Cary Grant inside of row 14, or outside of row 14 in the number 6 with a 3.8-liter GT car next to Jason Alexander in the 29 3.8-liter Cayman. Row 13 has the 55 of Thomas Bigoni in a 4-liter Cayman, and Kurt Kropp, the points leader in the Stuttgart Cup, coming into this weekend in the number 641 4-liter Cayman. Ross Goldstein is outside of row 12 in the 714 4-liter Cayman. David Harrington in the number 63 3.8-liter Cayman. In row 11, car 9, is Ryan Camp in a 4-liter Cayman. And Jeff Offlerbach on the pole. No, actually, there's a couple Caymans in front of him. Jeff Offlerbach in the number 10 4-liter Cayman. Nicholas Groombridge in the number 216 GTX Porsche. And Francisco De Jesus in the 221 GTX Porsche in row 10. In row 9, Joseph Rizzo in the number 24 4-liter Cayman. I think he's at the pole of the Cayman wave. No, there's some Caymans in front of him too. Brian Hicks in the number 22 GT 992. Julio De Jesus in the number 12 GT 4-liter Cayman. With Thad Berger in the number 60 alongside. Zachary Bradford taking the 14th spot in the number 14. 13th is Richard Zolman in the number 17 Cayman. Victor Spivak took over the Lamborghini yesterday in the number 76. Coleman Hall in the 79 Cayman. Ann Doherty had a good run yesterday, finishing 10th in the number 4 Porsche. Mark Sandrich in the 58, finishing just behind him. William Oliver, row 4, the 058 GT992. Bob Wiseman in the 27 GT4 point. Juan Gonzalez finished 6th in the number 81 GT4.R. Jordan Sandrich in the 49 finished in the 5th spot. Top 4 were Tomas Ballester in the 189. Matt Cohen in the 210. And on the pole, Liam Gray took the win in yesterday's race in the 991. His dad, Eric, is in the car for this one. And Charles Wicht was your winner yesterday in that Bentley GT3, number 7. It's a split start as we've got the GT3 cars at the front of the field. The top 18 positions are all GT3 cars competing for the Mission Foods GT3 Cup. And then from 19th down to 38th are the Cayman class cars battling for the Stuttgart Cup. As we mentioned, Ben Sissel alongside. And Ben, we have a guest.
Yeah.
Liam Gray is with us.
So excited. And John, in 5-10 years, we're going to be bragging about, remember that time we had Liam Gray in the booth with us when he's like some IMSA champion or something? Liam won the race yesterday in the Mission Foods Porsche Cup, and now he's in the booth because his dad is out there, and we were just talking in the pace lap. Your dad, Eric, is having to start from the back, and that's just the rules when you switch drivers, right? And then you're going to be in the next race, and you'll have to start from the back, which will make for a really good show.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm glad to see him out there. We get to split the car in certain weekends, so when we do, it's always a good bonding experience. And I get to start from the back for the next race, so it should be fun trying to work my way to the pack, through the pack, and try and get on the top step again.
You can see him there just behind the Lamborghini. Same thing with the Lamborghini. He had his co-driver in yesterday, so they're starting from the back. But Liam, you're our resident expert. What's it like to run one of these at the front at Watkins Glen?
It's really easy to be able to just let it all out, because once you get no one in front of you, there's really nothing stopping you. You know, you kind of take every corner as fast as you possibly can, and this track is all about speed, all about just kind of being on the attack. And if you're not on it, like I said yesterday, if you're not on it, it can really make or break a race.
Wow, see, that's good. Yeah, you're going to be our great color commentator here with us. Pierce Crone, thanks for joining us. He says, morning, John, Ben, and Liam. Looks like a tricky morning up there. And then Bill Oliver's wife, she missed yesterday's race. Now, Bill told me at the party last night she did go back and watch it, but she says hi, Liam. So, Emily, thanks for joining us. If you have any expertise or any comments for us, if you want to yell at us in all caps, feel free.
Oh, we got a spinner here.
Yeah.
Somebody's into the barrier.
That's Bill, I think, is what Liam's saying.
Yeah, I believe that is Bill Oliver.
Yep, it sure is.
Yep.
So these damp conditions, catching Bill out down at, looks like it's the toe of the boot.
And that is tricky because you're coming uphill and you're trying to put heat in the tires, and the rear end might have snapped out from him.
Yeah, exactly. That's almost exactly what happened. He just probably got into the throttle a little too much, a little slippery. Tires necessarily weren't there, and hopefully he's just didn't nose into the wall there. Hopefully he gets back into the field.
Well, Emily, I'm going to say that was commentator's curse right there.
There you have it.
And I'm going to say that you might have contributed to that a little bit.
Liam, I assume everybody's on slicks. It's not wet enough for wet weather tires?
Believe it or not, I think I saw a handful of people on wet weather tires.
Okay.
Which I don't think it's necessarily wet enough for. I think they're going to burn up really fast, and unless there's puddles on the ground, I think the wet weather's not the tire choice.
Yeah.
Now, I know sometimes the Pirelli P0s, the wets have the yellow Pirelli insignia on them. Is that the same with the IGT tires?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
So
it'll still say, actually, yes, I believe it'll still say Pirelli on the side. But I believe I saw maybe 2-3 people out there on the wet tire.
Okay. So International GT, because of putting temperature in the tires, they always do 2 pace laps. After the first pace lap, like we covered yesterday, the time starts. But because they need to go try to pull Bill Oliver out, because it looks like he might have just high-centered if he nosed in. So hopefully he just gently nosed in and then just couldn't get the traction to come out. So hopefully they can pull him out. He can start from the back of the pack and get back out there and put on a good show for Emily.
Speaking of Emily, hi.
Yeah, we have an Emily in our booth as well. I love it.
Bill has gotten himself back out there. He's brought himself to the back of the Club Sport field.
Okay, awesome.
So we have 18 Stuttgart Cup cars here this weekend. We have 18 Porsche Cup, and we have 5 GTX. Now, that Bentley up front of Charles Wicks, you have nothing for him. You know, he's got that big 4-liter twin-turbo Bentley. He was always in your sights, though. I was impressed by that in yesterday's race. But when you're out there, like at the Great Mid-Ohio race that you had, do you pick out, here's my big 3 competitors that I'm really trying to beat to get on top step of the podium? Is that your strategy?
Yeah, like at Mid-Ohio, when we got there, I was almost immediately on pace. So I knew I needed to pick out our top 3 who are typically there, which is Tom Pank and Lucas Pank in those crazy fast race cars. And it was kind of the 3 of us for the first couple races, and unfortunately Tom Pank got taken out pretty early in the weekend. Yeah. But those were kind of my targets for the weekend, and whenever I could get past them, my goal was just to stay ahead. Charles Wick in the Bentley, that thing is just so fast. It's like 630 horsepower. Yeah. It's got all the aero in the world. It's I don't think there's any track in the U.S. that a 991.2 Cup car, or even a 992, could stay on pace with it.
But Liam, you had a huge margin of victory yesterday. You were about 25 seconds in front of the rest of the GT3 cars, so you got to be pretty pleased with that pace, man.
Yeah, pretty happy with it. You know, I have an amazing coach, Bruno Carnero. He's, you know, from the beginning, he's kind of just really kind of made me the driver I am, and I can't thank him enough for that. He's amazing, and you know, it's so fun to be out here racing against. It's super cool to be racing against a GT3 car of all things. We get to race against Cup cars all the time, but have GT3 cars out here is awesome.
Yep, that's awesome sauce. All right, looks like we're getting ready here as they come out of the turn 9, heading toward turn 10.
So I think turn 1 is going to be against Matthew Cohn and Tommy Ballister. Maybe Jordan Sandridge is going to be able to nose in there because that Bentley will just take off at this drag race. So here they come to green, John.
James Rogerson and the Ray Skillman Mustang safety car pulls off into the pit lane, turning the field over to our front row of Charles Wicht and Matt Cohn in the 210. As they then make their way down toward the green flag, and the green flies. We are away. Wicht gets a good jump down into turn 1 already, and you're right. You're absolutely right, Ben. As it's Matt Cohn and Tommy Ballister going side by side through turn 1. A little touch side to side, it looks like, down into turn 2.
Tommy gets the best of them into turn 2. Coming up this Mission Foods uphill S is one of the greatest shots in motorsports. Jordan Sanders, Mark Sanders, Bob Wyson right behind, and Eric Gray already making up a few places there. That's got to feel pretty good, Liam.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm glad to see him make moves early on, and oh, look at that. Stuttgart Cup's getting a little, oh no.
Second wave comes in. I saw that one coming.
And Coleman Hall got hit in the rear from somebody.
And that's Kurt Kropp as well.
And the 9 car was the one who went off. That's Ryan Camp, who went off to driver's right there as he was trying to avoid that stack up in front of him. And unfortunately, he came right back on the track and took out a couple cars with him. So we're going to go.
That accordion effect at turn 1 at these starts can happen because it is so inviting to try to go 4 or 5 wide there.
Yep.
But you usually can't continue 4 or 5 wide through the apex as Jordan Sanders makes a pass on Cohn. They don't know what's happened in the back. I'm sure we're going to have to go full course yellow, but we'll see what happens here. Liam's saying they might be able to clear it up.
I believe everyone's cleared out. Kurt's moving. They're all continuing into the infield. I think he's going to pull in. Yeah, the track's clear, so I think they'll stay green.
Bob Wyson getting an attack there from Ann Doherty, who's really been impressive here at her first start, getting around a longtime veteran of Bob Wyson.
And I think Ann may be one of the cars who started on slicks or on the rain tires, so she may have a little advantage here in the early going. I can't say that for sure, but I thought I saw the yellow lettering on the side of her car, the tires on her car, so she may be one of the drivers who gambled on the wets. So she'll have an advantage here in the early going, but that will fade quickly because this track is so dry. She's going to burn up those wet weather tires pretty quickly. But Tommy Ballister staying right with that big Bentley. Good job for him. Here comes Matt Cohn back around Jordan Sandridge as he gets back into third spot now. Sandridge back to fourth. And there's Ann, and she is closing quickly. She's got great pace here.
Now she lives, she's from Seattle, so she's probably, this is a nice sunny day in Seattle, so she's kind of used to this. She lives in South Carolina now. But I'll tell you, I'm just getting reports that Coleman Hall, who was probably my favorite to win in Stuttgart, is in the paddock because of the incident, as is Ryan Camp.
The leader in the Stuttgart Cup is Zachary Bradford, and he is the fastest car on the racetrack on that last lap in the number 14. Joe Rizzo is second amongst the Caymans, with Jeff Offlerbach in third in the early going here. But I am so impressed with Tommy Ballister, man. He is right with this Bentley. Charles Wicht may be a little uncomfortable in these dampish conditions as they're down in the toe of the boot.
Are you seeing this, Liam? That could be you out there.
Yeah, it's always fun. Hopefully I'll get back up to the Bentley tomorrow, or actually this evening. It's going to be tough, but I think it should be fun. I think Tommy always does an amazing job on these weekends. He's typically my closest competitor, so it's good to see him kind of battling where I was yesterday.
And if you get to spend any time with Tommy Ballister, just one of the most fun people in the paddock, always has a great time, big smile on his face. He's one of our contributing to the fun atmosphere of IGT.
Absolutely. He's always so happy to see you no matter what happens. I mean, Tommy's just such a great guy. I'm so glad that we get to compete against him. So glad he gets to come to these races all the time and, bring some life to his place.
And we get to ride along with him right now as he comes across start and finish.
Picture in picture. I like that.
Yeah.
As they come into Mission Foods turn 1. Now, Charles Wicht, it looks like he's got some temperature in his tires. He's found the grip, and he might try to start pulling away here. You can see it is a a foggy day. I woke up and I could smell the campfire again, but it didn't seem as smoky as it was. But this is fog, not the smoke, I think, from the wildfires.
Yep, exactly. We had a really cloudy day or hazy day here on Thursday for our test day. But yesterday turned out to be beautiful weather. Oh, Wick has blown the chicane at the inner loop, and so he has to come to a full stop and then be waved through by the corner workers. I'm not sure if he made that full stop. He might have a drive-through penalty in his future.
We'll see.
Yeah.
That changes everything, doesn't it, Liam?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't believe he made a full stop, which is kind of unfortunate for him. But now Tommy Ballister has the lead, and I think Tommy might run away with this one if Charles has to take a drive-through. I think this one's going to be Tommy's race.
And Matt Cohn and Ann Doherty having a great battle for third and fourth now. Matt Cohn able to hold her off, but again, if Ann made the gamble to go on the wet weather tires, this is the part of the race where she will have the advantage.
I believe when I saw Ann pulling out, I believe she was on slicks.
So she is on slicks. Okay.
I believe so. Oh,
wow,
it's a move on Cohn.
Man.
Look at that.
Good job, Ann. Let's say she is stout here this weekend in her first start.
A little bit of body damage I'm seeing. It looks like just the wrap on her left rear quarter panel over the wheel well there. You see that?
Just a little divot.
Okay. Emily Oliver says, let's get to work, Bill. And then we've got some people rooting for Tommy. So it's great. And then somebody says that there's a Bentley running at Road America this weekend and at Watkins Glen. How cool is that?
Yeah.
All right, Wick, let's see what you got. I'm sure those big, bright Bentley headlights, Tommy's seeing those in his mirror. And Ann Doherty, look at that, around Matthew Cohn, right behind Charles Wick. Very impressed with her.
She just set fast lap of the race until Bruce Ledoux came by in the Lamborghini. Remember, he started at the back. So Ledoux from the tail of the field up to 9th position now on race lap number 5. So that's a great charge for him. There he is.
He's about to come up to Groombridge, and then Eric Gray right behind him. We've got his son Liam in the booth with us. And Ann Doherty still staying with Charles Wick. And I wonder, sometimes those bigger cars like we've talked about in the other groups, sometimes it takes a little bit longer to get the heat in the tires. And maybe that's what happened as he entered the Q3 interlude.
Doherty with Matt Cohn right behind her. This is a great 3-car battle. This is now for second position as Tommy Ballister in the lead.
Around him.
I believe with that Bentley, it's got a square setup of 320 millimeter tires all the way around. So some big tires. You know, it definitely takes a minute to get some heat into them.
Yeah.
And with the cool track temperatures and the cool ambient temperatures, that's going to be even harder. But Ann's going to keep him honest. She is right on his back bumper.
Ballister's making a bigger gap, it seems like.
Yeah, it was 2.7 seconds last time by the stripe as they're climbing the hill up toward turn 9 right now.
Maybe we've got some experts in the comments, because I do see the yellow sidewalls, the Pirelli on Ann's. Is that the slicks, or is that is the slicks? Okay, so Liam's our expert here.
Yeah, Ben and I are just guessing. Liam knows everything. So.
And I believe I was wrong earlier when I said the wet tire has the Pirelli branding on it. It may not.
Okay.
So take that with a grain of salt.
Okay.
Somebody was in pit lane. It looked like one of the De Jesuses. Okay.
Let's see who fell off the back here. Yeah, Francisco just came by, I think. So we'll see if Julio. Zachary Bradford still leading the Cayman class for the Stuttgart Cup. He is 11th overall right now as he's worked his way through quite a few of the GT cars. And just set the fastest lap of the race once again for Zachary Bradford. Comes into this weekend third in the points standings in the ZRB Motorsports Cayman. Joe Rizzo and Kurt Kropp just in front of him.
And this is a weird situation because Ann, it's going to be really hard for her to get around that Bentley, but then she's got Cohn right behind her trying to get around her. This could make a difficult situation here at one of the most difficult sections of the track.
She gets a great run through the laces of the boot there, coming down into the toe. The torque of that Bentley will probably give him an advantage climbing up the hill here. Tommy Tommy Ballister at the front. The first time we've seen anyone other than Charles Wicht at the head of the field.
So Bill Oliver is back up to 18th position. That's pretty good. Ooh, look at this. She's right on the rear of Wicht.
Their way through the final turn on the racetrack as they use the pit entrance lane there to.
And there is a little camber on 10 and 11, isn't there? Just a little bit of banking just to help the drivers out slightly.
You can definitely carry way more speed into it than you believe you can. We were looking at the edge of my car yesterday, and I got a little bit of scrape on the edge of my mirror from that exit wall. But I believe in the next lap or so, the leaders are going to be catching traffic. Yeah. So it's gonna start shuffling things up a little bit. I think Tommy's got a pretty decent lead, but once Wick, Doherty, and Cohn catch him, I think that could throw a mix.
Brian Hicks is in the mix of these Stuttgart leaders here. Brian Hicks in the Porsche 992 in the GT Cup, but he's got the 3 leaders in Stuttgart right behind him.
Yeah, that was Joe Rizzo trying to find a way around Brian Hicks to take over that 13th position.
And you're right, Liam, they're catching up to the lap traffic here. Tommy Ballister just increasing that gap. And look at this, Ann Doherty on the inside. Can she hold it, John?
Indeed. Like I say, she is so strong through this section of the boot. Now, of course, Wick will have the inside line coming through the toe, but then she might be able to pull the over-under. She's going to have better exit speed because of that entrance. Matt Cohn is just going to school right behind her to see where the grip is, or isn't, as it turns out. But Wick able to hold off the challenge for the moment.
If I was Matt Cohn right now, I would be kind of sitting back and waiting to see what happens between Ann and Charles, and just especially once they catch the traffic. I think it could. I think that's when it's going to be his time to make a move.
Right out to the edge of the track at the exit of turn 9, now through 10.
Right now, Tommy Ballister is just trying to hit his marks and run the fastest laps that he can. He's probably just peeking in his mirror every once in a while, but this is working out perfectly for him because this is going to kind of slow down these next 3 cars coming into Mission Foods turn 1.
Ballister coming into this weekend 5th in the points table in the Court Racing number 189. They head down into turn number 2 and then begin the uphill run. Do you have a favorite part of this racetrack, Liam? Is there any section of it that is more fun than others?
It's kind of generic, but the S is in the bus stop.
Yeah.
I mean, just so much fun. You carry so much speed, flat up through the S's, super, super fast into the bus stop. It's just, and then going over the curving there's the only other corner that's like the bus stop in the country is at Daytona. And how often do you get to drive Daytona?
Exactly right.
In the bus stop, I was telling my kids that are here, you can either gain a half a second or lose a half a second by how well you get in and out of it.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. I've driven the bus stop at Daytona. This bus stop is more fun.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. So now Wick coming down into this next gen toe of the boot. You can see the line is polished. The apex, the entrance apex of the boot. So that could come into play when it does rain. Tommy Ballister getting around Colin Cohen in that Maserati Trofeo.
Yeah, if it starts to rain, maybe before this afternoon, it's going to drastically change the line of this racetrack. This racetrack will get very slow because of all the rubber. Yep. You have to take almost the opposite line.
Yeah.
And you're crossing the rubber, and it's gonna be a drastically different racetrack.
These guys are deep in traffic now. The leaders working their way through the back of the Stuttgart Cup field as we ride with the overall leader, Tommy Ballister.
Body language looks relaxed, doesn't it, Liam?
Yeah.
He looks like he's good.
Yeah, he looks very relaxed. I think he's just kind of settled into a groove, and he's just going to hit his marks. And as long as he keeps it on the racetrack, I think he'll come away with a win. I hope I didn't just give him a little curse there. But
yeah, hopefully the commentator's curse didn't hit him again. Yeah.
We have a question here that I can't answer. Does GTX still follow the FIA GT3 homologation timeline? Or can someone show up like in a Mercedes SLS GT3, for example?
I believe you can show up in almost anything you'd like.
Yeah, I think that's a run what you brung kind of class.
Exactly.
I don't think there are.
I think if you're an IMSA team and you wanted, aside from maybe some IMSA testing regulations, I think if you have a brand new, 992 Evo GT3 car, I think you could come out here and run it if you'd like.
Oh, look at this. The Lamborghini of Bruce Ledoux is moving up through the field as well.
Remember, he started at the back, so he is now challenging for the top positions here. But Matt Cohn got around Ann Doherty as we were riding along with Tommy Ballister.
I think he listened to you, Liam. I think he was just kind of waiting to see where the lap traffic was going and probably made his move.
So Bruce Ledoux resetting fast lap of the race. He's now running in 5th. As we're in the closing stages here of this one.
Yeah, I'm hearing maybe next time by we might get a white. I'm not sure. Maybe they're going to wait till the next time by. But here we go. Ann on Matt again.
Well, she loves the boot. She is so good through that section of the racetrack.
Yeah, the toe of the boot, that's another corner where you could either make it or you can break it there.
I bet.
If you come out a little too slow, coming up that hill is very, very difficult.
Yep. Cohn using up all the racetrack as he gets out onto the Gators' teeth.
Now he's giving a run to Charles Wick. We were talking to Charles, Julie, and I at the grid here, and there's 2 other Bentleys that joined us out west, and she's like, man, if you can get them to come race with us pretty regularly, we'll make a group for these Bentleys.
Sure.
Just like if we could regularly get a few Lamborghinis, we'd make a group for the Lamborghinis as well.
So those of you watching us on the stream that are Lamborghini or Bentley owners, we would love to have you in International
Mercedes.
GT. Or Mercedes, yeah.
Because Derek with Extreme Velocity, I met him the first time. He was running an AMG Mercedes with us.
I was saying this at the end of last year. I think it would be very cool that down the line, once IGT continues to grow and grow, that we have a homologated GT3 class. So all the homologated GT3 cars, past or present,
Yeah.
They're going to be different, but I think it could add a whole nother, level to IGT.
Yeah.
We have the Cup cars, homologated GT3 cars, and the GT4 cars, and I think that would be awesome. And even if we could get some other, BMW GT4 cars and other manufacturers, obviously we're a very heavy Porsche series, but I think other manufacturers could. It would be a lot of fun.
Let's see what she can do here, John, because she likes that pass here at this next right-hander.
Yep. She gets a great run through the sole of the boot and down into the heel here. Thinking about it, but she's not quite close enough. But here comes Ledoux in that Lamborghini. Last to 5th, and he's going to challenge for 4th here before this one's over.
I think by the inner loop, he's going to be right there with Cohn and Ann.
Yeah. Charles Wick has got a little breathing room now that he's been able to pull away a little bit. Of course, with Cohn and Doherty battling each other, that's going to slow them down a little bit and give Wick a chance to draw away as the sun trying to peek through the clouds here.
And we're getting the white flag this time by, so this is going to be the last lap of racing.
Yep, the white flag is in the air. Tommy Ballister, the first to see it.
Ann's gonna definitely try and do something this lap. As long as she can get close, this is going to be her last opportunity. So I think if she gets close enough, she's definitely going to go for something.
But that Lamborghini's about to be in that mix as well.
Yeah. As they climb the hill through the S's.
Yeah, Ledoux's going really fast. He's definitely making his way, especially in these conditions. I think he could catch them, maybe by the end of this lap.
He's 3 seconds faster than Ann Doherty on as far as his best lap. So, but Tommy Ballister, after taking the lead when Wick blew the inner loop, and again, the three of us noticed that he did not come to a full stop after making that mistake, and so he may be penalized even deeper into the field if the stewards elect to assess that penalty in the post-race.
Where are we at with the Stuttgart? Because the top 3 in Stuttgart were real close.
Zachary Bradford still the leader, and he's got Eric Gray in between Eric Gray and Thad Berger in between he and Richard Zolman, who is running second in the Cayman class. Joe Rizzo is third amongst the Caymans. Jeff Oplerback fourth. David Harrington in 5th spot.
Zolman is new to the series, so
yep.
our newcomers are doing really, really well. But here we go, Tommy Ballister about to take the checkered flag, 2 corners left after this corner.
Yep. Right right out to the edge of the track at the exit of Turn 9. Turn 9 is the most, aside from the toe, is the most acute turn on the racetrack.
No more work. He said, let's go, Tommy. This will make him happy. Bring us home, John.
Tommy Ballister on his way to the checkered flag. That's going to, he's got both hands off the wheel, celebrating as he comes across to see the checkers. Good job for Tommy Ballister.
Bruce Ledoux looks like he might have gotten Ann Doherty.
Let's see.
No.
Just behind, yeah. Wow. So Charles Wicht comes home second in the Bentley in the GTX class. Then Matthew Cohn will win the, he'll take the win in his class. He's in the GT 4.R class in the 210. Ann Doherty will finish second in GT 4.0 in the 4 spot. Ledoux, a great charge from the back to 5th, and really almost got it all the way up to 4th position. As we watch for our Stuttgart Cup leaders, Zachary Bradford in the 14, first across the line. I think he's already come by.
They pulled the checkered a little. I hope there's not some confusion. I think they pulled the checkered a little early, so I think they might have caught the back of the GT field, lap traffic that was coming in. So I hope that doesn't mess anyone's race up.
That was another great international GT race. Yesterday was phenomenal under totally different conditions. Liam won his class. This time, Tommy Ballister just kind of let the race come to you, and with Charles Wick missing the Q3 inner loop, that brought some action out. So really happy for him. I'm sure Quirt is happy. Colosso, like we were talking about, Tommy Ballister from Puerto Rico, has his food company, Colosso. So a good day for them. Look at him waving at the corner workers. I love that.
Yep.
Good start to this day, John.
You betcha. Ballister in the 189.
Well, let's let Liam, thank you so much for joining us. Can't wait to see what happens in your career. We had a good time playing wiffle ball last night together. He got beamed by Chris Dyson's son.
Oh, man.
But you need to go down to Victory Circle to celebrate with your dad, and we'll see you in this afternoon's race.
Yes, it did. It was a pleasure being up here with you guys. Ton of fun. Struck me out once yesterday, but that's okay.
See, man.
Ben's got a wicked fastball.
No, it was a lot of fun.
Indeed.
It's great to have Liam up here. We're going to see him out there. And again, he starts from the back, which will put on a great show. But here's our results, John.
Tommy Ballister taking the win in the GT 4.0 class. Charles Wicht finishing second in the GTX Bentley. Matthew Cohn in the 210 finishing third. Ann Doherty, what a great drive, into fourth. Bruce Ledoux in the Lamborghini from last to fifth. Jordan Sandridge right behind him. Bob Wisen, Mark Sandridge, Nick Groombridge, and Eric Gray also starting at the back of his field, working his way up into a top 10. Zachary Bradford, your winner in the Cayman class in the number 14. Thad Berger in the 60. Then Richard Zollman on debut this weekend, doing a great job. Joseph Verzo, Jeff Offlerbach, David Harrington, Brian Hicks, Bill Oliver, Ross Goldstein, and Jason Alexander, your top 20.
Bill Oliver, Emily was saying Olivers never give up, so I love that.
Richard Walker, Andrew Smiley, Cary Grant, John Alexander. Rocco Canada started at the back. Good recovery for him, up to 25th. Mike Beers, Torsten Gross in the hands-off car. Francisco De Jesus, Richard Grant, and Colin Cohen in the Maserati from the GTX class. Julio De Jesus, Ari Strauss, then Coleman Hall. Ryan Camp and Kurt Kropp apparently got caught up in that first turn incident and did not finish the race. For those of you watching us on the stream, next you will see the pre-race ceremonies leading up to the start of the Trans Am broadcast. Alan Bestwick will be hosting. He'll be with you at 10:15 this morning. Ben and I will move over to the PA booth for a couple qualifying sessions. But enjoy your morning, as looks like the weather is improving here at Watkins Glen. I'm John Phipp, and he's Ben Sissel. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you later today.
Okay, so pretend this is your race car. It's on the trailer, and you have an accident. Ouch! At least your truck's insurance will pay for another one? Yeah, not so fast. Standard insurance won't replace your race car, whether it's in the trailer, in the paddock, in the garage, or the repair shop. But at Hagerty, we can protect it for what it's really worth anytime it's off the track. No matter what or where you race, offer less than a set of race tires. Hagerty, let's drive together.